sun shines on.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Candid Talks with Part1. This is Bharat Vatsa, your host. Today we have a special guest. We will be talking to Sarah Kashyap, the first Indian woman motorcycle rally racer to finish both major cross-country rallies in India, the Raid-de-Himalaya and Desert Storm.
Hi, this is Sarah Kashyap and you're listening to me on Candid Talks with Bharat V.
Please do listen to the episode till the end. Before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe to this podcast channel and you can connect with me on my Facebook page at Candid Talks with Bharat V. तो चलिए बातों का सिलसिला शुरू करते हैं and let's welcome Sarah Kashyap. हेलो एंड वेलकम टू कैंडिड टॉक्स विद भरत वी और आज मेरे साथ शो पर है सारा कश्यप. नाम तो सुना ही होगा. शी इज अ रिप्यूट रैली रेसर, a known name in India and doing wonders across the world. So welcome Sarah on the show today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
So how have you been putting up during this pandemic? Let me start with this.
Oh, I'm all right. I think I just made the best of it. I went back to I used to be a martial artist, so I went back to playing sports and enjoyed cooking and did all the things that I didn't have time for earlier. Okay. So I think I had a good time in the pandemic, but I'm glad it's getting over slowly.
I just hope it gets over soon. Yeah, I know. So when you say martial artist, I believe you were into judo, right? You are a judo champion.
I was I played national, so I was representing Haryana team, so all of that, yeah.
So
I didn't do it for a long time.
Okay. So if I may ask you, who is Sarah Kashyap? I mean, how will you define yourself?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think I'm a little, right, in one word or what is it? Oh, you caught me there. I hate describing myself.
I know it's a very simple question, but it's very difficult as well. I know it's very difficult to answer. So take your time. I'll leave it on you. How you want to answer that?
No, I think I'm just a person who follows my heart all the time in whatever I do. Mm-hmm. It could be anything. So I'm a bit of a rebel, but I'm not a rebel without a cause. So right. So I just think I'm somebody who follows my heart all the time in whatever I want to do.
Okay. So I believe, Sarah, you were born on Friday. I think it was the eve of Eid. And and you were the Eid for your parents.
I was, I think.
And you also share your birthday with Dalai Lama and Sylvester Stallone and all these, celebrities.
And somebody I'm not very proud of, George W. Bush.
Okay, so who has more effect on you as a personality?
Both Dalai Lama and Sylvester Stallone, equally.
Oh, okay, so that means, if I may say so, you are a fighter as well as a spiritual person at the same time?
I'm very spiritual. Yeah, I'm not religious at all, but I'm spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was your childhood spent, Sarah? You were always a tomboyish kind of a person since your childhood, like chota packet, bada dhamaka types?
Oh, I'm just so sick of it. Come on, guys, I need to grow up. For how long you're going to keep me the chota packet?
It's a compliment, actually.
I know it is. Yes, I'm not taking it any other way. But yes, I'm just bored with it now. But it's lovely. Okay. I think I was a tomboy, but I'm extremely feminine in my own ways. I think I'm not somebody who wants to be a boy because I just don't get that. So I am very proud to be a girl, and I'm comfortable in my skin. The older I get more comfortable in my skin, and but yes, my choices were very ungirly, so to say, when I was growing up.
Boldish.
Yeah.
Kind
So,
of
I was into martial arts. I never was. My mother wanted me to be into painting and sketching and
Okay.
knitting and like easy stuff. But I never kind of enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I used to
Okay.
go for judo classes with my brother, and then I started riding my dad's scooter and just always got onto wheels, and I really enjoyed all of that.
Okay. So just hold that thought. I mean, before we move into the world of two-wheelers, so I believe, and I'm again repeating this word, dhamaka. Sorry about that. Your birth itself was also a dhamaka, I believe, right? I mean, you were born underweight, and then there was some
That's true,
tension. And then tell us about how your parents handled that entire thing.
Feeling like a dream.
Hi, this is Sarah Kashyap, and you're listening to me on Candid Talks with Bharat V.
Out of my city. Yeah, it's
Oh, my dad's amazing. He was told that, so I think I was a premature baby, and so they wanted to put me in incubator, and the doctor said that she wouldn't survive really, so you don't really need to take her home.
Okay.
She'll probably survive a couple of days max, and we'll put her in the incubator.
Achha.
So my dad had a very a loyal, somebody used to work for him basically. One of the staff members. So
your dad, he comes from an army background?
My dad had a business. Yeah. He had a small business. So so the staff guy told my dad that in Punjabi he said ki kudiyan nu kuch nahi hunda. So so kudiyan ta deviyan hundi ne, that feeling. So they said ki, they're like goddesses, nothing would happen. So so my dad said, well, he may just be right, and I'm not going to leave my daughter behind. So I still hold it against my mother, because my mother said to my dad कि नहीं कोई बात नहीं छोड़ देते हैं, हमें ज़्यादा ज़्यादा ममता हो जाएगी अगर घर ले जाएंगे तो. So फिर कुछ हो गया हमारी हाथों में कुछ हो गया. Now तो we haven't even seen him.
Right.
So my dad said, well, whatever is happening in front of me, so I'm not in a bloody machine. So he took me home, and he did all the desi ghee ki malish and everything, and put me back to life. So I survived all right. I was very healthy. I was a healthy child. As in, took me a while to get healthy. I was underweight for a very, very long time.
Okay.
I still remember I used to play, when I was doing judo, I used to play in minus 36 kg weight category for the longest time, even when I was in college. So Achha. I was that thin. I was very thin.
Okay.
So then, But
and this all was in, where was this, in Chandigarh?
This is all in Chandigarh, yeah.
Chandigarh.
Born and brought up, and at least in my graduation, I stayed in Panchkula primarily.
So you were always a daddy's little girl.
I think I get along with him a lot. I love my mother as well, of course, but
I think it's quite common. Ladkiyan normally.
My brother is mama's boy.
Yeah. And ladkiyan, I think, father se zyada attached hoti hai. So that's right. Yeah. Even I have a daughter, and so I can understand.
Well, you would know then.
Obviously, yeah. So, bachpan mein, aapne just a few minutes back you said you started, getting into, started riding dad's scooter, obviously.
Dad's Chetak,
and you started going to school on bike in Chandigarh. So, kya tension milta hoga nahi us time? So, dekho ladki bike chala rahi hai and all this stuff, right?
This time it was 20 years ago, or maybe when was it? I think, well, I'm 36 now, so 20 years ago, precisely. I was probably 15 when I started riding.
So whose bike was that? Was it your dad's bike?
No. So the first motorcycle I rode was my brother's bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but before the motorcycle, 2 years before even, so I think probably 15, I would say for that one full year, I was riding my dad's scooter.
Achha.
The Bajaj Chetak with the gear in the hand, those ones.
I started learning myself. I started learning on Bajaj Chetak. So
exactly, I think, and it's quite fun. My dad used to have a Lambretta as well, so I had a little go on that, and I really enjoyed scooters.
Awesome.
And then I graduated. My brother got a bike, and I learned a little bit on. There was a Yamaha RX 100 that was like
RX Yamaha. Amazing
We
bike.
rode that. But then his first bike was a Bajaj. So my brother, his first motorcycle was a Caliber. You know that lambi seat one?
Yeah. Caliber, I know. मेरे पास my first bike was Kawasaki Bajaj RTZ 100.
See, you know what? That was back then. It used to be Kawasaki Bajaj.
Yes,
The Caliber
Kawasaki
was
Bajaj.
also Kawasaki Bajaj.
Kawasaki, yeah. So
I had forgotten
this
about that.
Yamaha RX 100 and Kawasaki RTZ 100, these both came together at the same time.
Right.
And amazing bikes, yeah. I
I
mean, this
used
time,
to borrow a lot of bikes. किसी के पास होती थी पाजी मैं चला लूँ आपकी बाइक पाजी एक राउंड दे दो. So, I used to do all that. RD 350, Bullet, किसी की भी लेके बस. And the pajis used to be lovely. So they would be like हाँ छोटी सी तो है चलो ठीक है चला ले थोड़ा सा चक्कर
चला ले. और पंजाब में तो और है ही ऐसे ही मतलब सब बिंदास टाइप के सब.
Yeah. So they're very
I know.
sweet. So I had a good time. And then I used to take my brother's bike to school.
So that is how you fell in love with motorcycling?
I think, I mean, initially it was just like, I think it was just the, getting attention and enjoying it like everybody else. Arey wow, sab dekh rahe hain, main to, when I'm like tiny and I'm riding a big motorcycle. So getting that attention and enjoying it, that was the phase. Then you kind of really, you reach a point where you start enjoing the machine for what it is and what it can do, places it can take you to. So slowly, I think I graduated over the years and then I actually left India for about 6 years in between. I wasn't staying. I went to England. So,
you went there for your graduation, I believe, post-graduation.
For my master's. So at 23, I left. So from 23 to 29, really, I was in the UK.
So talking about London, you were in London, right?
Well, I was in Wales and I've been everywhere. I was in Wales, I was in North Wales rather, been close to the mountains.
So
but then
about
I was
UK,
in London for the last 2 years,
So talking about UK, I believe there you worked in bar and then you also worked in Pakistani halal shops and tell us something about that part of your life.
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, I really enjoyed. Yesterday I was talking to one of my cousins and we were, reminiscing about things that I've done in the UK and just the experiences I've had. So you name it. I think I've done almost possibly everything. I was, when I was a student, then I was even working in cafes and even I've done cleaning jobs and, in laundry. So just, in anything and everything to, survive all right and have fun. And then in the meantime, I started judo again. So I was playing for my university. Then I won the championship there for my university. And it was pretty lucky that I kind of got some really, towards the end. But I worked in, London Olympics in 2012. I was there. So I was working as a volunteer. So I've done quite a lot of different experiences. And I worked as a social support worker for people, for old people and for children with learning disabilities. So I've done lots of different things. And then I've worked with Google. With an agency. So
Amazing. So Sarah, before I move further, tell me something. You are basically I believe the only Indian woman motorcycle rally racer, to finish both Raid-de-Himalaya and Desert Storm. And you
I was the first one. Now I think.
You were the first one.
I was the first one,
And you also probably were the first one to be hired by Royal Enfield to ride, for the rides and community team. And you are now, riding Group A bikes also in the races like KTM, EXC 250 and all those kind of.
I haven't raced in the last 2 years, but the last I raced, I was riding a foreign bike.
Right. So tell me, normal riding a bike is different, and becoming a rally racer is totally a different ball game altogether. So how do you, transform yourself from a simple Chandigarh di kudi, riding a bike to getting into becoming a rally racer? So wo transformation kaise aapne, how did it happen, and why did you even choose to, do that?
See, it was very very organic. I never planned it. It just happened. As in, it was all a process. I had come back from the UK. 6 months I stayed in India working as an assistant professor in a university.
अच्छा, so आपने प्रोफेसर गिरी भी करी है?
नहीं जी, बिल्कुल.
और क्या नहीं किया?
I've left anything.
और क्या नहीं किया
और
ये
मैं
बता
बाइक
दो.
पे जाती थी वहाँ पे. The kids used to say, "मैम आप वही हो ना, वही हो जो बुलेट पे आते हो." ऐसे लिया है, पढ़ लो तुम लोग सब.
तो फेवरेट टीचर रहे होंगे आप स्टूडेंट्स की?
Favorite teacher थी मैं, I think so, yes. I would like to believe so.
Again, attention seeker there also. You didn't leave that place also.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. See, that is the thing. I think I'm not an attention seeker now. I used to be, and I say that out loud कि हाँ मैंने चलानी तो ऐसी शुरू की थी कि हाँ सब लोग देखो मैं चला रही हूँ. But then I reached a point कि जब मैं गंजी भी होगी किसी को पता ही नहीं लड़की चला रही है, then I don't care. मुझे नहीं दिखाना किसी को कि मैं चला रही हूँ. तो मैं तो बाल ही नहीं दिख रहे, कोई हवा में नहीं उड़ रहे हैं हेलमेट में से बाल से. I mean, who cares? And jacket पहन के I'm looking like a small छोटू भैया. So they would say भैया रुकना यहाँ पे साइड में. So they would never know it's a girl. I look like an astronaut when I'm in my riding gear because I haven't found the riding gear that kind of like fits me properly yet. So because I've lost weight as well now, so I think my jackets are all over the place. I probably need to get like a custom made riding gear. I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think so. Then I moved to Bangalore. I was working with it's like a media house. So I was working with a social media. They were basically into content creation, and so it's an agency. And so I worked with them for 6 months, and I was still riding. And that's when I did my Bangalore to Ladakh ride.
Okay.
So I kind of got noticed by people at Royal Enfield, and I started chatting to them. So I met a couple of people from the factory. And, an opportunity came up and they said, would you like to join? I said, absolutely. So, that's how it happened. And so the team that I eventually started working with, they were all ex-rallyists anyway. So they had been into, my immediate boss was an ex-rallyist himself. The head of the department was an ex-rallyist. So there were quite a few people who were into, rallying.
Okay.
Or just even, like INRC rounds and if not cross country, but smaller rallies. So they were doing racing. So I kind of, I started seeing them, and I did some initial races where I was an absolute disaster. But then I realized that it was fun. And I really enjoyed running against time, and that just the whole feeling of being there and, focus and all of that. So I think I really just enjoyed the whole process.
Okay.
And I think after that, there was just no looking back. I really enjoyed it. And I would stop once I stop enjoying it. So, I have nothing to prove. There's nothing that I am here to prove to anybody, because it's a very expensive sport. Right. It's not that anybody is spending their money onto racing. So I've not been riding for 2 years now because I am busy working, and, my priorities have suddenly shifted. So it's totally all right. I think as long as you enjoy doing it, you should carry on. And life can always happen, and you can have different priorities, which I right now have. But I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. Still, I totally love it. And even though I haven't been doing it for last 2 years, I think I really want to get back.
So have you been able to do Dakar? You said, if I remember correctly, you wanted to do that, and that was one of the things which you were preparing for, right?
Yeah. I wanted to do that, and I still want to do it, but then it's not a joke because it's almost like we're talking about 1 crore in Indian currency is the kind of money you need, 80 to 90 lakhs.
Okay.
So, my father would rather tell me कि कोई property खरीद लो, घर बना लो, तुमको race क्यों करे? So you've got to think of all those things as well, because
Absolutely.
It's not, if you don't have sponsors, like different sponsors, one company is not going to sponsor you all that amount anyway.
Absolutely.
So you've got to have different sponsors, and I'm not currently, and to even reach there, you've got to be participating.
Correct.
Constantly.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not in that zone at the moment. I think I'm going to enjoy just riding bikes. I am planning to take a break and come to India in January.
Okay.
So at least for 3-4 months, definitely 3
So
months.
what are you into right now? Where exactly are you working?
I was working with a risk consultancy firm. So I was in their compliance, forensics, and intelligence team.
Okay.
And so in Dubai itself, so I was working at export. I mean, we had different clients. So I
Okay.
was basically into UAE labor law and labor monitoring and those
Okay.
kind of things.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you're planning to leave that and come back to India?
Compliance. Yeah. I mean, I am. I just want to take a break at the
Okay.
moment. So
Okay.
I mean, I will restart something. But then I've been working constantly for 2 years now. So, and then I did not have a holiday for almost a full pandemic year. So I
Understand.
think I deserve a break.
So where do you have your bikes right now? Is it there in
I just
Dubai
have
with
one
you?
bike. I sold my. I had a KTM as well, a foreign, a EXE
Yeah.
made in Austria.
Yeah.
EXE 250,
250, yeah.
which I've sold before coming to Dubai. But
Okay.
I have my first bike that I bought. I still have it with me, which I call Hercules.
Okay.
So that I still have. But
That
that's
was
in January.
the first dirt bike?
No, it's a Royal Enfield.
Oh, Royal Enfield. Okay. I thought you were talking about the dirt bike.
Completely transformed into a dirt bike. Doesn't look like an Enfield now, but yeah.
Is it the same bike with which you came to Goa during the Raid-de-Himalaya?
I've been to Raid-de-Himalaya 4 times on different bikes, so I'm not sure which bike. The yellow one. Are you
I
talking about?
don't remember. I think this was in the year 2017 or 18, I believe. 17
No, 18,
or 16.
18 I was riding a Himalayan.
Okay.
17 I did not attend Raid-de-Himalaya. 16 I was, I think, on a Himalayan again.
Okay, then probably you were on Himalayan. Okay. And that is when I met you there for a very short time. I think you were a part of one of the race.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, so I think I was, I have the yellow bike is Hercules.
Okay.
So that is the bike that I finished my first Raid-de-Himalaya on and my
Okay.
first Joba. And so I've done a couple of races on that and I've ridden quite a lot on that. So
Okay.
that is still there with me. That's in Chandigarh. But I'm planning to pick up a Himalayan when I come down to Chandigarh this time. I'm planning to buy another one.
Okay.
Because Hercules, I have squeezed the life out of Hercules now. So I don't think he can carry on long now.
So
He's a showpiece now.
so tell me something. I mean, how do you plan for your these kind of big ride events? I mean, are you technically trained to do all the DIY things on your bike?
Basics. I can do basics. I can get
Okay.
myself out of trouble.
Okay.
But that's about it. I cannot completely fix things, but I'm learning. I'm trying to learn as well because I eventually want to be able to. But I mean, it's like it's a constant. It's a practice. You got to be doing it regularly. You can't be doing it once in 6 months and then go back to it again.
So do you have your own crew accompanying you on these cross-country rallies?
On the races, yes,
Yeah.
but not on the rides. Yeah. Races
Races?
have. Everybody has a crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you are racing the whole day, then in the evening somebody needs to. You
Yes,
can't. I mean,
absolutely.
unless you are absolutely adept at doing all of
Yeah.
that. But then if you're not, then somebody needs to check the bike completely and make it ready for the next day. So I always have a mechanic and a helper, and
Okay.
at least 2 guys with me.
So
All the spare parts. everything,
were
yeah.
these all sponsored or it was sponsored self?
Initially, initially it was all my money.
Okay.
All my Dahej ka paisa has been spent into racing so far.
So how did your husband?
Husband कहाँ से आ गया? शादी नहीं हुई मेरी.
ये क्या बात कर रहे हो? तो दहेज कहाँ से हो गया?
मैं दहेज के लिए इकट्ठा नहीं करते माँ बाप.
वो
What are you
इकट्ठा-
saying?
तो मैं वही सोच रहा था. मैंने
So I've been
दहेज
taking
के बारे में
installments from my father, saying कि आपने तो दहेज के लिए इकट्ठे करे हैं, थोड़े से दे दो, बाकी मेरे पास है, मैंने सेव कर लिया है, थोड़े से आप दे दो.
Damn. मैं वही सोच रहा था. मैंने कहा ये दहेज की बात हो रही है तो यानी कि शादी हो गई. क्या लगता है? शादी वादी भी हो गई होगी.
Do I actually look like somebody who would actually pay any bloody dahej to get married? What do you think?
अरे आप.
I'm not even that close.
Okay.
दहेज का नाम सुनते ही मैं भाग जाऊंगी उल्टा.
I know. I mean, the kind of personality you have, it's rather you ask the hit ulta from them.
नहीं, मुझे भी नहीं चाहिए. Thank you very much. I'm a self-made person. मैं खुद कमा लूंगी.
Okay.
So,
So tell me something. I mean, now before you actually, started doing these cross-country rallies, and there is another riding event which is Malay Moto. Can you tell us something about that? What is that?
Hi, this is Sarah Kashyap और आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं Candid Talks पर भरत वी के साथ.
Malay Moto is in Dakar only. That what
नहीं.
you're talking about?
Yeah. So उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा हमारे listeners को थोड़ा बताएंगे. What exactly, and when exactly does this happen? For how long is this event? And
It is a part of Dakar. Malay Moto is basically a category in Dakar. So
Okay.
it's a part of Dakar rally. So जैसे different races में different categories होती है ना. So
हाँ,
Malay
हाँ.
Moto is a category in Dakar rally, which basically means कि you are not allowed to take your crew with you.
is it one of the
So-
challenge in that challenge kind of a category in that particular
Well,
Dakar?
it's a proper different cat. I mean, as in, I don't know. I wouldn't say challenge. The Dakar in itself is a challenge. So
Yeah, obviously.
Malay Moto is a category, and people racing in Malay Moto have a different, positioning as well.
Okay.
As in, अगर हम 12 लोग माले मोटो कर रहे हैं तो हमारा अलग से 12 लोगों का भी एक पोडियम बनेगा. फॉर
Okay.
एग्जांपल,
Okay.
ऑफ कोर्स ओवरऑल में तो होगा ही कि आप ओवरऑल
हाँ.
थर्ड हो, फोर्थ हो, 20th हो, व्हाटएवर.
Yeah.
बट अगर आप माले मोटो में सिर्फ 15 लोग हैं तो उन 15 में से आप फर्स्ट हो, सेकंड हो या थर्ड हो. सो दैट इज
Okay.
आल्सो देयर.
Okay.
And it's difficult because obviously it's extremely difficult because आप पहले सारा दिन रेसिंग कर रहे हो in the desert,
Okay.
and then you coming back and fixing your own bike, pitching your own tent, खाना वाना खा के 2-3 घंटे की मुश्किल से आपको नींद मिलती है, and then
Yeah.
you are again out. So
Okay.
they
So
just Malay. I think, I don't know what origin it is. It's a Spanish word or a French word. I don't know, but it means a trunk. That's what it means.
Oh, okay.
So the original Dakar, they used to be like Malay Moto, basically means a motorcycle and a trunk. So you
Yeah.
have a nice big trunk where you have all your stuff, and that's all that you are carrying with you,
Okay.
which goes
Okay.
separately in one of the trucks, by the way, like in a backup.
Okay. Interesting.
But nobody helps you to fix your bikes.
Understand. So that was Sarah Kashyap, India's first woman rally racer to have finished both Raid-de-Himalaya as well as Desert Storm till date on a motorcycle. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the podcast show Candid Talks with Bharat V. If you like the show, please do like, subscribe and share with others. If listening on Apple Podcasts, do not forget to rate 5 stars. If on Spotify or YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and share. All the bikers can listen to this podcast on bikersclub.in. इसके साथ हम आज का सफ़र यहीं समाप्त करते हैं. बातों का सिलसिला जारी रहेगा with Sarah Kashyap in our next episode of Candid Talks with Bharat V. Stay home, stay safe. This is Bharat Vatsya signing off for today. दुआ में याद रखना. जय हिंद.